Hello everyone, no respawns. Hope you're doing well. So we're back in the castle, as always, and we're going to be making my little overhang shack things. Mentioned in the last video, remember? You paying attention? You probably weren't paying fucking attention, are you? Anyway, so basically, my shit jokes aside. So, this is looking really cool, and I've actually done, like, this is the entire section of this wall as well, so it's really starting to come together. And the whole premise with this is I wanted structures. I kind of fiddled with it the other day, giggity, a little bit. Don't know what I'm up to today. I don't know what I'm on. It's a bit hungover still from last night, to be honest. So sorry about that, by the way, if my voice sounds a little bit out of whack. Anyway, so yes, my shit jokes aside. So yeah, I have these structures that overhang a little bit. And I kind of want to run with the idea and see what I can do with it. Now this, as all the things that I have in this castle, turned out really cool. Didn't turn out how I expected it. I like to think that's the castle nutshell. Everything's just turning out differently. But I weirdly like it. Like I was walking through it earlier. I really want to fucking finish this place. Not because I'm not enjoying it. It's just I really want to like quest a bit. Because I can't do any of the main quest. And I want to kind of like play the game and stuff. So I want to finish it. And it looks really cool. But it looks very much like Diamond City more than Megaton. But it's still got that slightly tiered element. So I'm quite happy with it. But yeah, these are weird. I was kind of like half making up as I went along. Especially like this walkway bit and what I end up doing in front of it. You'll see in the decoration part because I put some farms there. And it's kind of like... It's almost slightly vanilla in a way, this structure, and the fact is that I've used lots of kind of just bog standard wood pieces, you know, stuff that we would have put on the channel, you know, kind of the bread and butter prior to all the DLCs and, you know, and then mods coming. But it's turned out really unique. It's like vanilla but like rehashed. And the decoration's pretty cool as well. I'm actually really glad we're doing the series like this, and I might try and do this more often, I think, with my videos. I mean, I kind of have been doing it to an extent recently, but like I might do it as much as we've done it in the castle to an extent. We'll see, because for example, like all of my buildings are decorated now. Like they've all got like junk decoration or some form of decoration, whereas if I'd done the settlement in like one big go, we'd have decorated nothing. I mean, I might not decorate in all of those small little filler shacks, I'm not sure yet, but it still looks, it saves me time overall basically, and it means that, you know, the area feels complete. I've also only done like 2 of the artillery pieces. I started doing the other day and I just got so bored. I just couldn't be arsed. Some of them are a bit awkward as well. They're pretty simple, and on the last video I mentioned this, but I did end up raising the artillery bits up, so now they're not, you know, sunk too far in. So for this part, so pay attention here. So now I've got these parts. Put the shack upper floors just because it's nice and thick. Giggity, lol. And then we put these supports in. Now, I fall down in a sec. Oops. And the reason I put these stairs here is just so I can get underneath, really, without fucking around. I mean, there's still some fucking around, but it's less than it. I don't know if it's actually saved in time. It made it easy, yeah, shut up, right? So basically, you've got these wee shack mid-free supports, which are really, really good. You can do it by hand eventually. I decided to just build even more convoluted shit to get underneath it, but basically, they're really, really good. They're a little bit weird. In the sense of they don't necessarily always sync. You'll see, they're a bit kind of finicky. But they're really good because it's useful to have something like this. See, like here, like this, they look ridiculous. And then eventually I figure out that I can actually have them a bit further down. I have them as well, remember on the gatehouse, or the entranceway. I have them there too. They're pretty good. They look a little bit shit here, but don't worry, I'll pull them out in a sec. Also, you see that big thing there? You can scrap that. I did not realise you could scrap that. Just thought I'd point out there. And that yellow thing, right? You can scrap that without actually having the scrapping mod enabled, which is weird. Just, it's a bit of an interesting tidbit for you. I didn't realise. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Ooh. Did I mention this the other day? I posted the pictures on Twitter. It was very funny. With the scrap everything mod, you can actually scrap the castle walls, and it looks ridiculous. It looks so stupid. It's so silly looking. You can just delete the walls, right? But the point is it doesn't do it properly, so you end up having like a load of the like debris on the top is floating. All of the foliage is floating, all like little bits of tufts of grass. It looks stupid, but it was funny, and it made me giggle for at least a minute. So there we go. They're vaguely supported. I like this because it still looks like, you could argue that it still doesn't look structurally stable, but I think with the supports underneath and how kind of half in it is on one side, I think this would Potentially, you know, because the idea being obviously, you know, it's got the foundation bits, and I deliberately chose them so it looks like it was kind of dug into the ground. I like it anyway. But you see what I mean here about using slightly vanilla elements? I opted to go, because I'm still trying to be a bit more weirder with my structures. Initially, these were actually just going to be enclosed buildings, and then what I ended up doing, which I'm quite pleased of, is making them a little bit more, well, not enclosed, basically. Not enclosed, they're open, like my other buildings. Because there's a theme with a lot of my buildings as well, and the fact is that they are kind of open. You can see in from the outside. And I'm quite pleased with this. I did have a think. Right now, this is me having a think. And then I scrapped the idea because it's shit. I was going to try put one of the MISC buildings as such on the inside. That you can see me think of the idea in a second. This is me. This is my thinking. These are my thinking movements. This is what I do. I was like, how am I going to make this look interesting? Not going to change my mind. That looks shit. Don't do it, David. Oh, yeah, that's much better. That's better. I've decided I normally use that big roof there, but you can see me deciding I end up with this flatter roof. I don't know why. Thought I'd mix it up. This won't work very much. There's a reason why, because I left them open. That's why they didn't turn out to be houses. And one thing I didn't do is I have a habit of doing whenever I do these not a house buildings, like buildings that aren't a house or a shop, I always end up turning them into chilling areas, and I'm trying to open my mind a little bit with like not doing that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I have this room I don't know what to use it for. Okay, I'm gonna put some sofas in here. Everyone hangs out here, and I'm just thinking, how many places do people realistically hang out? You know? Yeah, so I thought I'd make a kind of a shed, a tool. Well, it's not really a tool shed. It's just a stuff. You'll see, it makes sense. It works, yeah? It works. It's like a farming sheds, yeah? That's what they are. All right? Shut up. Fuck's sake. I wanted to put this in the center, but it wouldn't let me. Because, fuck you. Oh, well. That's fine. People mention this, actually, quite a few times recently. So it's just that I do, even though I like to mix up my surfaces, like make my buildings look random, I still like a bit of symmetry in them. People have mentioned that quite a lot. It's like, oh, David, you know, you always talk about having repeating textures, for example, not, you know, repeating the same one so it looks weird, but you also like symmetry. I think I've mentioned this in the past, whereas just that I think symmetry's fine. So symmetry's good. So believable. I mentioned it when I was talking about believable structures, basically. I was like, when you have a believable structure, it's better if you repeat textures a little bit. I know, alternate textures a little bit, so you're not having, you know, I use the example of using the same railing over and over again. It looks really shit, right? However, some people have said, oh, but David, you know, you use lots of, your buildings are very symmetrical, and it's, you know, it doesn't look realistic. I disagree. Buildings often are actually reasonably symmetrical, but they don't have the same textures. But also, you know, that's not really as big as repeating textures. This part's a little boring, I'm afraid, and it's also the last part. It's really simple. Like, the structure's done now. You'll see the tour. I spent about 2 hours decorating these, because I got carried away. But there's nothing. You'll see. It's just basically just kind of like loads of little shit. So I didn't put it in the actual building video. But they look pretty cool. This did take a while. So like this is fun. This worked. This worked. Also slightly whistled then. I don't know why I slightly whistled then. I like doing this little technique of just making slightly mini fences, I guess, because it kind of makes the walkway feel a little bit separate, but at the same time also adds some funky shit in there. Not snap those in. You see that artillery piece there is probably gonna be the hardest one. I think it's the only one with a big tunnel near it, so it's gonna be really difficult. But is that Preston over there? Yeah, see. That's that one done. Looks good. Looks good. I also covered up the gaps. You know, I said the gaps underneath. I did all them as well. Took a while. Took a while. Oh, the castle looks so good. Looks so good. I've not done anything else other than, like, literally, whenever you see me build right now, that's just, like, I've effectively, like, all of my saves now are of the castle. Because I have, like, 4 different save games that I save over, so I like, as well as my auto saves. And normally they're spread out over multiple settlements, so it's like it's kind of like a little montage of my last month or 2 playing, or like no week rather. But in this instance, it's just all castle. That's all we've been doing recently. That's why I want to finish the castle. It's the castle forever. Oh, I'm gonna be So you know I did that thing where I had non-Fallout games, right? And then I stopped a bit. That was just because nothing was coming out. Because in the ideal world, I want to do about 3 Fallout videos a week, and then 2 non-Fallout videos. And then after Oxygen Not Included, there was just nothing I wanted to put on the channel. I'm going to try and maybe, because I want to start doing that again, because I do miss kind of just trying out non-Fallout stuff, and I do need to, obviously. We're a bit of a drought for games that I feel work on the channel. So I'm going to start digging around a little bit for kind of non-Fallout stuff, which I feel. You can suggest, obviously, but I probably won't take many suggestions because people always suggest stuff that's old or that I don't like. I'm not a big fan of multiplayer games, for example, anymore. Like for videos because it's just too hard. But we'll see. But yeah, non-Fallout stuff basically. It's gonna come soonish. Again, probably next week. Actually, I'm just gonna dig something out and be like, right, let's make videos on this because I play loads of survival games and shit. You know, I do loads of stuff. Anyway, it's nearly done. Decoration. It looks completely different with the decoration. But it's not enough that I need to do a guy in it. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. So, very cool. I've got these little, like, plots in the front. It was when I put these little farm bits here. As you can see, it's just, you know, like, decking and then, like, planters and stuff. So, it's nothing really kind of buildy. Those plants, by the way, the ones in the center, are actually... You can't work those. So, in Unlock 7 Objects, he has actual food, and then you have... In the decoration tab, there's nature stuff which you can't work. So, it's like, if you just want to put, like... food, but you don't want them to work it. It looks pretty cool. Anyway, but yeah, and at the inside, we'll go inside in the set, but I tried to kind of make it look like this was the main sheds. There's my supports, there's my flamingos, because you've got to have lawn flamingos. It's quite cool, but it's quite kind of a vanilla structure, isn't it? You know, it's kind of something I've made before in the past. Got a little scavenging area there, looks pretty cool. In here, I couldn't go OTT with a junk decoration, because I have to keep it in mind for, like, the frame rate isn't dropping, but then we still got to do the interior of the castle. There's so much shit I got to do, so I'm kind of, like, holding off. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys like this. It looks pretty cool. I'm actually quite pleased, because there's quite, like, little kind of junk areas, like, work benches for them to work on and stuff like that. This is my, kind of, my sheds. But I don't know what really to call it, you know. And I got those, obviously, lanterns. And this open area I like as well, because it gives you a really, really nice view. Look at this. Oh, look at that view. There's my lab scale as well for measuring out bits. It looks cool, doesn't it? Yeah. And I think I'm going to try and maybe keep this kind of open vibe with the rest of these kind of top-level buildings. Anyway, as always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. As I said, I'll try and bump in some non-Fallout content next week, I think, because it's just... Again, I only stopped because there just wasn't anything that I felt would be good for a video that had come out recently, whereas I'm going to, like, do some digging, maybe find some hidden gems. Anyway, until I talk to you guys again, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.